My name is Chief Brian Fengel with the Bartonville Police Department, and I'm current president of the Illinois Chiefs Association. And this is a historic moment. I just told Teresa, it's very hard to get all law enforcement in one county together, okay? It's even hard for departments to get all their people together to get a picture. So this is a great event. First and foremost, I would like to thank everybody for coming, the state NAACP, the state's attorney, bringing everybody together here today. It was a year ago when we stood here before you in this chambers to sign the 10 shared principles. And since then, just to give you a little information, over 120 departments in the state have signed on to this. I told Teresa last year and Bob Moore that we've got this document signed now, that we were going to take it to other communities throughout the state so we could show what we've done in this state, which is historic, all right? Getting everybody together, getting everybody to talk to one another, and being on the same page. So we're fortunate to have that, and to have everybody here today in the same county signing on this document is huge. And I would personally like to thank you guys for coming, showing your support, because this is what it's about, making our communities better, all right? I've had people from different states call me this year and ask, how in the world did you get this to happen? And and one word, I say it just right off the bat: cooperation, collaboration, and people wanting to make it work, okay? That's what it's all about here. So thank you. Kenny's gonna talk, Teresa's gonna talk, and I would just like again to thank you on the behalf of the Illinois Chiefs Association for doing this. The other thing that we've done a little bit too this year, we've had world cafes throughout the state, and we're going to continue that. Even though I'm done in April as president, we will continue to work with the state NAACP and local chapters throughout the state to get agencies on board. And you know, I was told here earlier that there's some communities that are adopting this for their whole community, just not their police agencies. They're passing resolutions, and that is a great feat in that. So just like to thank everybody, thank the state's attorney, and I will turn it over to Teresa. Thank you.
Good morning. I just want to say to our law enforcement, thank you for what you do. This is historical, and I am so excited to be a part of it. Several years ago, when Ferguson happened, we said, what can we do here in Springfield, Illinois? As we all know here today, the NAACP was founded because of the 1908 race riots that took place right here in our hometown. And we said never again. And with Ferguson being so close, we said, what can we do to start communicating and building better relationships, especially between the police departments, law enforcement, and the Black community? So we had a town hall meeting over at Southeast High School. We invited the president of the NAACP from St. Louis, Missouri to come and serve on that panel. And that was the start. The chiefs of police and the NAACP got together afterwards and continued conversations and said that we need to continue to educate our community, to communicate with one another that we all value and respect life. So that's how the principles were developed. So thank you for what you do. We appreciate you and we value you.
Good morning. I'd like to echo and thank everybody for coming out today. As we stand here today united as Sangamon County law enforcement, which I believe to be some of the best in the state, if not the best in the state, the professionalism, the willingness to always help each other, to always assist each other, to be there in need, that's what we represent. We always do what's best for our community and what's best for our agencies and our officers. And today we're doing that again. I want to talk a little bit about how we got here today. Back in December, I was approached by the NAACP as well as the Illinois Chiefs about hosting a World Cafe that Brian spoke about. The intent of the World Cafe was to bring community members together as well as law enforcement and educate them on these shared principles. Let them know why they're important, what they are, and get everybody's buy-in into it. When we had that meeting in January, and when we left that meeting, a couple days later, I was on the phone talking to Jack Campbell, and he was asking me, hey, are you guys going to sign? When are you going to sign? And I told him, we're going to sign. It's just a matter of educating our people and picking the right time. I said, with that, though, wouldn't it be neat if we could make this a county-wide initiative? Jack immediately jumped on board and said, absolutely. I said, I've already talked to some of the departments in town in the corporate limits, and they're on board. In fact, a couple had already signed on. And I said, I think we can get this done if we work together. So at that time, I told him, let me think about a plan, think about how we can do this, and I'll get back with you. So I got back with him, and we decided to invite Ed Wojcicki, the Executive Director of the Illinois Chiefs Association, to our Scalia meeting, our Sangamon County Law Enforcement Executive meeting. I asked Ed to come in and speak about the principles, educate people on them. Some people weren't aware of them, didn't know exactly what they were and what they meant. So he came in and he gave a discussion on that, and we had just kind of a little round room discussion about it, and then said we would have some additional follow-up at our March Sangamon County Chiefs meeting. At that meeting, we all talked about it again, and the conversation was a lot about reaffirming of what we already do. Everybody agreed that these principles are things that we should be doing as a professional law enforcement agency, and we believe in Sangamon County we are doing them. So for us to get together and to affirm these today is more about reaffirming what we already do. Everybody values life. Everybody believes that everybody should be treated with respect. Everybody believes that we should diversify our police departments to try to represent our communities. These are all things that everybody can get behind. So after that, it was about individual conversations with chiefs on the phones, talk about, hey, where do you stand on this? Can you support this? And overwhelmingly, not one chief that I talked to and not one chief that Jack talked to said they couldn't get behind here. And that's why we stand here today with 26 chiefs of police from around Sangamon County, represent every local law enforcement agency in the county. That shows the professionalism of law enforcement in Sangamon County, and I'm proud to stand here in unity today. We all know the importance of good police-community relations, of building trust to have those relations. We all know, and I've seen up hand, when a crisis hits, that if you reach out to the grassroots leaders and the informal leaders in our community, how you can work together to diffuse something before it blows up. And that's what this is all about. It's about those relationships. We cannot fulfill our mission in law enforcement to reduce crime, to deter crime, and solve crime without our community support. And this is just a way of us publicly embracing these and affirming these principles and showing the public in our communities that we're willing to take that step. So I thank you, and I respect each and every one of you. Cheryl.
Good morning. I am Chief Deputy Sherilyn Williams with the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office. On behalf of Sheriff Jack Campbell, who couldn't be here today to be a part of this monumental occasion. I am here to relay Sheriff Campbell's commitment, along with the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office, to the shared principles that have been adopted. When Sheriff Campbell and Springfield Police Chief Kenny Winslow began conversations with the community and other law enforcement agencies, it was clear that this was a joint effort for all parties involved. The Sheriff's Office is committed to developing strong relationships between our law enforcement officers and the community of color in order to eliminate racial discrimination at the leadership and street level. This office strives effortlessly in the recruiting process to hire and retain qualified minorities to assist in improving diversity within the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office. We understand having employees that reflect the community is important. Today is a historical day. The entire Sangamon County law enforcement family has joined together alongside the NAACP and the Illinois Association of Chiefs of Police as a unified front to bridge relationships within our community. We embrace and encourage continuous dialogue with the NAACP and the community to improve city and county relationships.
At this time, Chiefs, what we'll do is we'll go through and we'll sign. There's 3 boards, so you got to sign your name 3 times. So we'll start. I'll go first. I think Cheryl's next, and we'll just call you off. And if you'll come up at the time, and we'll have you sign at that time. Chief David Campbell, Auburn PD.
And while our chiefs are signing, we just want to point out, this is the first county in the state of Illinois to have this unified agreement where all of the chiefs of police have signed on to the 10 principles. And this is really historical, and I'm excited about it because this is the home of Abraham Lincoln. This is where President Barack Obama announced that he was running for president and came back and announced his running partner. This is the home of the NAACP. And when you're talking about race relations and building better communications and having a stronger community, it starts right here in Springfield, Illinois. So again, we are appreciative, we are grateful. And some of the things that I can actually tell you since we've started doing the principles, we have received less calls, complaints from communities of color regarding concerns with our police officers. So give yourselves a hand for what you do. And truly, if you have any problems and concerns, please contact me, Teresa Haley with the NAACP, or any of our branches. We want to continue to build stronger relationships because we have to live together, we have to work together, and we have to learn how to respect each other. I think the respect is there. We just have to continue to grow and improve all of the things that we're doing throughout the state of Illinois. So thank you all again.
This is Chief Brian Tonio from Buffalo Counselor, prior as Chief George from University. Up next will be Chief Vernon Foley from Chattanooga.
And for the National Organization for Blacks in Law Enforcement signed on to the agreement in the city of Chicago. And then they took it to Florida to their national convention. So all of Noble have signed on to the 10 principles. So we're excited about that as well. Brian, anything you want to add?
Basically, this is, like I said from the very start, I mean, getting everybody in one room is huge. I mean, it truly is. I mean, it's hard enough, I was telling Teresa, it's hard enough to get everybody to get a picture in your own department. So this is very good and to be a part of, and we're excited that we keep getting departments. And I think the main thing is after today, this will spread the word throughout Illinois and say, hey, look what Sangamon County did. They got all their chiefs of police together in one room with the state NAACP and signed this document. So that's what we're hoping, spreading the word and helping our communities.
So the other thing that the Illinois NAACP and the chiefs of police have done are our World Cafes, our Let's Talk series. Not only have we gone to the law enforcement conferences up at Tinley Park every year and presented the 10 principles and Let's Talk series, we've gone throughout the state. So if you're interested in hosting a World Cafe in your community, please let us know. Contact Ed and Bob Moore, and we will make it happen. It's about going around the state, educating people on the principles, and seeing how we can continue to strengthen the principles by putting more teeth in it. We will be taking this to our national convention in Detroit in July and getting the national NAACP to join us in these 10 principles. Other states throughout the NAACP have looked at the principles and they said, wow, how did you guys get this to happen? As we stated earlier, it starts with communication. It starts with being committed, compassion, and caring about your community.
The two previous were Chief Mark Estel from Jerome, Chief
And one other thing I'll add too.
See, he can't be quiet
No,
either.
we're looking at a date. We haven't got it confirmed yet. Juliana Stratton, Lieutenant Governor, she was also instrumental in helping us with these World Cafes, being a facilitator with us. So we're trying to get a date set up, probably in the Peoria area, where we can all come together. Everybody that's been in a World Cafe, or anybody that wants to have open communications and sit down and talk about how we can make this better and keep pushing the message out there. So stay tuned. We'll send this out on email alerts through the Chiefs Association.
Bob, is there anything you want to add or we should add?
Come on up, Bob, if you got something.
I'm not going to say anything. Input from community. This is truly input from this whole thing. So that's all I'm really. And Brian, he keeps smiling. Brian, he makes me tell about my background all the time. And so he wants me to tell people about how I was chief of police in Jackson, Mississippi, U.S. Marshal, deputy chief of staff, and build a truck. I have experience. I have full experience building trucks. That's what we have to practice. We have to practice building. But also, what I have to say is that we have to understand what it is that destroys trucks. We have to make sure that our officers do not destroy the trucks that you all build and practice yourself. It needs to go
So some of the great things that we've been doing since we started doing the principles are selfie with a cop, coffee with a cop. And if you all are creative and have some other things that we should be doing for community outreach, let us know. If you're still athletic and you want to play basketball with the youth, don't wait until there's a festival going on. Just join in on some of the pickup games, soccer, whatever may be going on. It's starting to get warm, and young kids are just hanging out, and a lot of them don't know what to do. Don't just approach our youth when there's a problem. Approach them when there's not a problem. Say, hey, youngsters, what's going on? You know, what are you guys into? Where are you going to go to high school? Or where are you planning on going to college? Or have you thought about this? Or have you thought about that? Encourage them to join law enforcement. The best way to shut down a complainer is somebody who complains about law enforcement. Invite them to do a ride-along with you. Educate them about what it is that you do. This is a dangerous job, but it's a rewarding job, and we do appreciate you. Now you get to catch up, ain't no other black folks up here, but I don't see any other females up here, so I need y'all to start doing some diversifying.
Sheree, real quick, you'll put this on the Illinois Chiefs Facebook and whatnot. One thing, if you would do, if your departments have Facebook, share it, spread it, and help us out, get likes so everybody sees what's going on down here in Sangamon County. So, thank you.